What's up, YouTube? Brett Hoover from Rants here. As always, guys, if y'all enjoy our content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave that comment down below. Now, I was actually a huge fan of WandaVision, Loki. Didn't really enjoy the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But the new Hawkeye series, I had literally no interest whatsoever. I really didn't have that for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but I still watched it. But I cannot, for the life of me, bring myself to watch this show. Just doesn't, I have no interest. It's not that I hate the characters in the show or I feel like it's too woke in any form or fashion. I just don't have any interest in seeing a Hawkeye series. Turns out I'm not the only one. Says according data and analytics from firm Samba TV, which touts it has a large multi-source TV data set, sourced from 24 TV brand partnerships and 46 million TV devices globally, claims Disney Plus and Marvel Studios' Hawkeye series premiere was only watched by 1.5 million households, which is terrible for Disney. I mean, it's terrible not only for Disney, but it's terrible for Marvel in general. Says they went on to report that viewership decreased by 200,000 to 1.3 million households for the second episode during the same time period. It just doesn't have staying power. Now, look, I can't say that I watched it because I haven't. But like I said, there's nothing about replacing another one of the Avengers that I really want to see. I just really don't want to see it. It's not that I got anything against Kate Bishop. It's just I feel like this is getting to be like a worn out trope in a lot of ways when it comes to Marvel. Is, well, we're going to replace, these male white guys with the female character. And then the next Avengers movie is basically going to be, just like this whole phase of Marvel movies and series have been all about women. And I think people are kind of getting a little bit tired of it to a certain extent. And it's not because people hate women of any kind of form or fashion. They just hate bait and switches. That's just what it is. It's almost like the Masters of the Universe Revelation. It's not that nobody hated Teela. In fact, a lot of He-Man fans are big Teela fans. They just didn't want a Teela-centric show. They wanted He-Man in the show. Just like what we want, the original Hawkeye in, Hawkeye to be the main character. It says they went on to report that, I already read that goes on to say on Instagram they wrote, 1.5 million U.S. households watched Clinton Barton and Kate Bishop meet in the premiere of Hawkeye on Disney Plus during the first 5 days streaming. They added 1.3 million U.S. households watched the second episode during the same period. And it asks, are you watching? I definitely am not. I'm going to try to get into it. I really am. I'm going to at least give it a shot. See if I have a completely and totally different take on it. Because, hey, sometimes that happens. Sometimes that happens with it. A show that I'm just completely and totally against. I actually enjoy. Shang-Chi is a good example. There was all of that. Oh, well, it's just a bunch of woke nonsense. It's going to be a terrible show. Terrible movie and all that stuff. And I thought it was a decent movie. I don't think it was a great movie. I thought it was decent. So, you should always give something a chance. So I'm not going to hate on it. I'm just going to say what a lot of Marvel fans are really just sick and tired of. And it's just a bait and switch. That's it. And plus, Hawkeye, and I kind of felt this way with Black Widow. And I know a lot of Marvel fans out there disagree with me about Black Widow. Black Widow was, she was interesting when she was in the Avengers, but I really didn't want a standalone movie with her. That just wasn't, to me, she just wasn't as interesting of a character to make a standalone movie. That being said, Hawkeye is, even worse in that regard, because we know so little bit of Hawkeye. Hawkeye was, at least you could say that Black Widow was, had more of a role in the Avengers. But Hawkeye was just kind of like, he was the guy that was just kind of there. He had some good times, but I mean, besides that, there wasn't like, you could have taken him out of any of those Avengers movies, and those movies would still been the exact same. That's, you know, I always feel like that's the best way to know if a character needs a standalone movie. If you can take that character out of a movie and it still be just as good as what it was without that with that character as without him, then don't give that person a standalone movie or a series. It says they would further reveal that Hawkeye's premiere over his first 5 days was the least watched Marvel Studios show on Disney Plus, which doesn't really shock me. Of course, at least the Falcon and the Winter Soldier actually had, the whole, a lot of people did enjoy the Falcon. I love the Falcon. And of course, the Winter Soldier, there was a lot of fans of them too. But it was around the Captain America legacy. That's why people watched it. Of course, you have WandaVision. I'm shocked WandaVision did as well as what it did, but it was a really good series, and I understand why people got addicted to it, because I got addicted to it as well. And as far as Loki just name recognition all the way around. It's to be expected that that's going to be, a show that people are going to stick with. Unless it's just absolutely terrible, which it was actually a pretty good series. It says, as noted above, Hawkeye's premiere was only watched by 1.5 million households. WandaVision was watched by 1.6 million households. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier saw 1.8 million households tune in, and Loki took the top spot with 2.5 million households watching the premiere episode. And you know what? That makes perfect sense in a lot of different ways. Like I said, Wanda and Vision, or Scarlet Witch and Vision, they were interesting characters, but like I said, could you take them out and the show and the movies be just as good? Possibly. Almost. I won't say it completely, but I think you could make a case that, hey, you know what, they could have, centered around other little characters. That they were more side characters is what I'm trying to say. So I don't see that as really that shocking. I mean, Loki, just the name recognition is going to get viewership, period. It says not only was Hawkeye's premiere less than all of the other Marvel series premiere, it was also below the season finale of Loki and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It did beat WandaVision's season finale, which actually kind of shocks me in a way. It says Sam TV reported back in July that Loki's season finale was viewed by 1.9 million households. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier was viewed by 1.7 million households, and WandaVision's season finale was viewed by 1.4 million. To be completely and totally honest with you, if you take WandaVision's season finale or series finale out of the question, I would almost say that was the better show of all of them, of these shows. And that's saying something because I'm a huge fan of Loki as well. But I just felt like WandaVision was just, I don't know, there was more about WandaVision, more substance, it felt like WandaVision, more mystery around it, where I felt like in a lot of ways people just wanted to know who the villain in Loki was. And that's really what kept a lot of people going. It wasn't the dialogue, it wasn't, the story that was going for the, until the finale that kept people going. It was the name Loki, and it was also who was going to be the villain. Whereas WandaVision, each episode presented some different clue that people had to tune in to watch. So that captivated my attention a lot more than what Loki did in that regard. But yeah, I mean, I just feel like I feel like Disney and Marvel are, I don't know, they're putting their agenda more too forward, more than what they should if they want to make movies. If they want to make the MCU something that is touted as the greatest thing ever, where that everything makes money. You got to stop making shows like this. You really do. You got to stop making shows. You got to start making shows of characters that people are just more interested in. Because let's face it, Hawkeye was just really a side character in the Avengers. That's my point of view. Some of y'all might disagree. I think most of y'all probably would actually agree on that, and it looks like it in the ratings of this show. But as always, guys, let me know what y'all think. What do y'all think of Hawkeye series? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, thanks for watching. Y'all take care.